Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin shows a clear upward trend. The price has consistently moved above the Bollinger Band center line, indicating bullish momentum. The RSI values have remained mostly above 60, suggesting that the asset is not yet in overbought territory. The forecast for the next week predicts continued price increases, with a potential reach of $111,900. Considering this, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $105,800, placing a stop-loss order at $104,000 to limit potential losses. Our target price will be $111,900, aiming to capture the predicted upward movement. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate the RSI indicator. If the price retraces and the RSI falls below 30, we will enter a long position at the lowest price. The stop loss will be set at $200 below the entry price, and the target price will be determined by the previous resistance level. However, given the strong upward trend, the primary strategy of entering long at $105,800 with a stop loss at $104,000 and a target of $111,900 remains the most efficient approach for maximizing returns. This portfolio combines both strategies to capture opportunities from both upward and downward movements. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum has shown a strong upward trend, breaking through the initial resistance level of $2,670. The RSI consistently fluctuated above 70 for several days, indicating overbought conditions, but the price continued to rise. The forecast for the next week suggests continued upward momentum, with prices potentially reaching $2,710. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $2,550. To manage risk, the stop loss will be set at $2,470, just below the recent low. The initial target price will be $2,680, aligning with the forecast high for the week. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. When the price touches the lower band, it signals a potential buying opportunity, and when it touches the upper band, it suggests a potential selling opportunity. Given the current upward trend, we will maintain the long position. If the price retraces to the lower Bollinger Band around $2,470, we can consider adding to our position. The final target price will be $2,710, based on the forecast. This combined RSI and Bollinger Band strategy aims to capitalize on the prevailing bullish trend while incorporating risk management techniques to protect capital. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP exhibits an overall upward trend, consistently bouncing off the support price of $2.35 and nearing the resistance level of $2.58. The RSI indicator fluctuates, but generally remains within a range suggesting neither extreme overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show a gradual widening, indicating increasing volatility. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position when the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. The entry price will be $2.4, with a stop-loss order placed just below the support level at $2.34. The target price will be set at the resistance level of $2.58, aiming to capture a significant portion of the recent upward movement. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI dips below 20, indicating an oversold condition, we will enter a long position at $2.4, setting a stop loss at $2.34 and a target price at $2.58. Conversely, if the RSI rises above 80, indicating an overbought condition, we will consider exiting the position or shorting XRP. The combined strategy offers a balanced approach, leveraging both Bollinger Bands and RSI to maximize potential returns while managing risk. This portfolio is the most efficient of the three strategies. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB shows a generally upward trend, supported by consistently bouncing off the $636 support level and the forecast predicting further increases. The RSI fluctuating between 50 and 75 indicates neither extreme overbought nor oversold conditions, suggesting a consolidation phase before a potential breakout. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, implying increased volatility and potential for price movement. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $650 plus $0, placing a stop-loss order at $636 plus $0, just below the established support level to mitigate potential losses. Our target price will be $673 plus $0, aligning with the forecast for the week. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI dips below 20, indicating an oversold condition, we'll initiate a long position at the prevailing price, with a stop-loss at $636 plus $0 and a target price of $673 plus $0. Conversely, if the RSI rises above 80, suggesting an overbought condition, we'll consider exiting the position or shorting. Combining this with Bollinger Bands, if the price touches the bottom band, it signals a potential buying opportunity with a stop-loss slightly below the bottom band and a target price near the upper band. The most efficient portfolio will involve a 60% weighting in the RSI strategy, 30% in the Bollinger Band strategy, and 10% in the basic long strategy, rebalancing weekly based on market conditions. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana exhibits an overall upward trend, consistently trading within the resistance level of $183 and support level of $150. The RSI consistently remains above 50, suggesting a bullish momentum. The forecast for the next week indicates a continuation of this upward trend, with prices expected to fluctuate between $174 and $178. I recommend a long position strategy with an entry price of $174. Place a stop-loss order at $165 to limit potential losses. Set a target price of $183, aiming to capitalize on the existing upward trend and resistance level. To refine this strategy, I will incorporate the Bollinger Bands. If the price touches the lower band, it indicates an oversold condition, which is a potential buying opportunity. Conversely, touching the upper band suggests an overbought condition, hinting at a potential pullback. Given the forecast and current momentum, I suggest holding the long position. The RSI is currently around 62, which is not in the overbought or oversold zone. Therefore, maintaining the long position with a stop-loss at $165 and a target price of $183 appears to be the most efficient strategy. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin exhibits a slight upward trend. The price has been fluctuating between a support of $0.195 and a resistance of $0.241. The RSI indicates that the asset is currently not significantly overbought or oversold, with values fluctuating around 60. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is occasionally touching the upper band, suggesting potential upward momentum. Considering these factors, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy. We will implement a strategy based on RSI and Bollinger Bands. Our strategy involves entering a long position when the RSI dips below 30 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. Given the recent data, we can enter a long position on May 19, 2025, at $0.229. The stop-loss should be set just below the support level at $0.195 to protect against potential downside risks. The initial target price will be the resistance level of $0.241. If the price reaches $0.241, we will move the stop-loss to the entry price of $0.229 to secure profits. Further, if the price continues to rise and breaks the resistance, we can set a second target price at $0.259, the highest price of the upper Bollinger Band. This combined strategy leverages both momentum and volatility indicators for a high return potential with controlled risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano shows an overall upward trend, supported by consistently testing the support price of $0.717 and approaching the resistance of $0.83. The RSI values fluctuate, but generally remain above 50, indicating bullish momentum. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility and potential for price movement. Considering this, I propose a combined strategy leveraging RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels. My recommendation is to initiate a long position at $0.779, coinciding with the first forecast price and a point near the lower Bollinger Band. set a stop loss at $0.717, just below the established support level, to limit potential losses. The initial target price should be $0.83, aligning with the resistance level. If the price breaks through the resistance, consider moving the stop loss to the previous support level and setting a second target price at $0.858, the highest point of the Bollinger Bands during the historical period. This strategy aims to capitalize on the anticipated upward trend while managing risk through strategic stop loss placement and target price adjustments. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON shows an overall upward trend, although it has recently approached resistance levels. The RSI consistently fluctuates above 50, indicating a generally bullish sentiment, but approaching overbought territory. The Bollinger Bands indicate periods of volatility with the price occasionally touching the upper band. Considering this, I recommend a long position strategy with a focus on capitalizing on potential pullbacks. My strategy involves entering a long position at $0.267 when the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. The stop loss should be set at $0.248, aligning with the established support level, to limit potential losses. The initial target price is $0.275, the resistance level. If the price breaks through this resistance, the target price can be adjusted to $0.282, the upper Bollinger Band of the historical data. This strategy combines the trend-following nature of the Bollinger Bands with the risk management of the support level and the momentum indication of the RSI. Based on the historical data and forecast, SUI exhibits an upward trend with periods of consolidation. The RSI consistently fluctuates around 65 to 76, indicating neither extreme oversold nor overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands show a narrowing trend, suggesting potential volatility. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position when the price approaches the support level of $3.54. The stop loss will be set just below the support level at $3.44 to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price will be the resistance level of $4.06, aiming for a quick profit. To enhance the strategy, we will incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI falls below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we will enter a long position at $3.54, with a stop loss at $3.44 and a target price of $4.06. If the price touches the lower band of the Bollinger Bands, we will enter a long position at $3.54, with a stop loss at $3.44 and a target price of $4.06. If the forecast price continues to rise, we can adjust the target price to $4.3. This combined strategy leverages multiple indicators to increase the probability of success and optimize returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, Chainlink demonstrates an overall upward trend, with the price fluctuating between the support of $15 and the resistance of $17.4. The RSI indicator consistently remains above 50, suggesting a bullish momentum, but approaching 80 on several days indicates potential overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been trending upwards, nearing the upper band on several occasions, suggesting increased volatility and potential for a pullback. Considering these factors, I propose a combined strategy leveraging RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels. My strategy involves a long position with an entry price of $16 on May 19, 2025, coinciding with the start of the forecast period and a slight pullback from the recent high. A stop-loss order will be placed at $15, aligning with the established support level to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price is set at $17.4, the previous resistance level. If the price breaks through $17.4, the target price will be adjusted to $18, based on the upper Bollinger Band on May 18, 2025. This strategy aims to capitalize on the prevailing upward trend while incorporating risk management through defined stop-loss and dynamic target adjustments. Based on the historical data and forecast, ApeCoin exhibits a generally upward trend, breaking through the resistance level of $0.703. The RSI indicates that the asset is approaching overbought territory, with values fluctuating around 70. Considering the forecast prices, which consistently remain above $0.658, a bullish strategy is advisable. I recommend a long position entry at $0.658. To manage risk, set a stop-loss order at $0.616, just below the recent support level. For the target price, aiming for $0.692 aligns with the forecast and provides a reasonable profit margin. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price consistently trades near the upper band, indicating bullish momentum. A long position entry at $0.658 is maintained, with a stop-loss at $0.616. The target price is adjusted to $0.697, reflecting the highest forecast price. This combined strategy leverages both RSI and Bollinger Bands to maximize potential returns while minimizing risk, capitalizing on the observed upward trend and overbought conditions. This strategy is suitable for investors seeking high returns with moderate risk tolerance. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bonk demonstrates a fluctuating trend with periods of consolidation and minor upward momentum. The RSI consistently hovers between 50 and 75, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. However, the recent upward movement and forecast prices suggest a potential for continued, albeit limited, growth. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been fluctuating within the bands, indicating moderate volatility. Considering these factors, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy focusing on short-term gains. My proposed strategy involves entering a long position when the RSI dips below 30, and exiting when the RSI reaches 70. Given the current price of $0.0000205 and the forecast, I suggest entering a long position at $0.0000207. Place a stop-loss order at the support level of $0.0000184 to limit potential losses. The initial target price should be set at $0.0000215, aligning with the forecast and the upper Bollinger Band. If the price continues to rise, consider adjusting the target price to $0.0000220. This strategy balances potential gains with risk management, capitalizing on the anticipated upward trend while protecting against significant downturns. Based on the historical data and forecast, FLOKI shows a slight upward trend with periods of consolidation. The RSI fluctuates between 51.6 and 76.0, indicating both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening recently, suggesting increased volatility. Considering these factors, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy. We will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 30, indicating an oversold condition, and the price touches the support level of $0.0000862. The entry price will be $0.0000862. The stop-loss will be set just below the support level at $0.0000855 to protect against a potential reversal. The initial target price will be the resistance level of $0.0000115, offering a significant profit potential. However, given the forecast data showing a range between $0.0000101 and $0.0000102, we need to be cautious. If the price reaches $0.0000105, we will move the stop-loss to the center of the Bollinger Bands, currently around $0.0000927, to secure profits and limit further losses. If the price fails to reach the initial target of $0.0000115 and shows signs of reversal, we will exit the position at $0.0000108. This strategy combines RSI, support and resistance levels, and Bollinger Bands to optimize risk and reward. The portfolio will prioritize the RSI strategy as the primary signal, with Bollinger Bands providing confirmation and support/resistance levels defining potential profit targets and exit points. Based on the historical data and forecast, THORChain exhibits a clear uptrend, breaking through the resistance level of $2.07 and showing consistent upward momentum. The RSI consistently moved above 50, reaching over 80 on several occasions, indicating periods of overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have also widened, suggesting increased volatility and price fluctuations. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. The entry price should be $1.87, coinciding with the beginning of the forecast period and a relatively stable price. A stop loss should be placed at $1.8, just below the forecast price and the support level of $1.4, to mitigate potential losses if the trend reverses. The target price should be $1.92, aligning with the forecast price and the previous resistance level. To refine this strategy, I'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. When the RSI dips below 30, indicating an oversold condition, buy THORChain at $1.87. Place a stop loss at $1.77, below the lower Bollinger Band. When the RSI exceeds 70, indicating an overbought condition, sell THORChain at $1.92, taking profits. This combined strategy leverages both trend following and mean reversion principles, maximizing potential returns while managing risk. The portfolio will be 60% long position and 40% RSI and Bollinger Band strategy. Based on the historical data and forecast, Raydium exhibits an overall upward trend, consistently testing and breaching the $3.45 resistance level. The RSI values fluctuate, but generally remain above 50, indicating strengthening momentum. The Bollinger Bands show the price moving within their range, with recent days suggesting a narrowing of the bands, potentially signaling increased volatility and a possible breakout. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position. The entry price should be $3.25, coinciding with the first day of the forecast period. A stop loss should be placed just below the support level at $3.15 to protect against a potential pullback. The initial target price should be set at $3.45, the recent resistance level. To refine this strategy, I'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 30, indicating an oversold condition, consider adding to the position at $3.1. Conversely, if the RSI reaches 75 or above, signaling an overbought condition, consider taking partial profits at $3.4. Furthermore, if the price breaks above the upper Bollinger Band, a strong bullish signal, a further target price of $3.5 should be considered. This combined approach leverages multiple indicators to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, KAITO exhibits a clear uptrend, consistently testing and breaching the resistance level of $1.94. The RSI values fluctuate, but generally remain within a range that suggests continued buying momentum. The Bollinger Bands also indicate a widening range, signaling increased volatility and potential for further price movement. Given this, I recommend a long position strategy. Specifically, enter a long position at $1.79. Set a stop-loss order at $1.69 to protect against a potential reversal. Aim for a target price of $1.94, aligning with the established resistance level. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Bands indicators. When the RSI dips below 30, indicating an oversold condition, consider adding to the position at $1.79. Conversely, when the RSI reaches 70 or above, suggesting an overbought condition, consider taking partial profits. Furthermore, if the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it signals a potential buying opportunity, while touching the upper band suggests a potential profit-taking point. Therefore, a tiered approach with adjustments based on these indicators can optimize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethena has shown volatility with a recent upward trend. The RSI indicates periods of oversold and overbought conditions, while the Bollinger Bands reflect the price fluctuations. Considering the support price of $0.365 and the resistance price of $0.455, a combined strategy utilizing RSI and Bollinger Bands is recommended. We will enter a long position when the RSI dips below 30, aiming to capitalize on potential rebounds. Specifically, we will initiate a long position at $0.369, coinciding with the first forecast price and a potentially oversold condition. A stop loss will be placed at $0.365, just below the support level, to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $0.385, aligning with the forecast price for the following days and considering the recent upward trend. If the price reaches $0.385, we will adjust the stop loss to $0.377 and set a new target price at $0.385 to secure profits and allow for further upside potential. This strategy combines technical indicators with support and resistance levels to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Pepe shows a generally upward trend with periods of consolidation. The RSI fluctuates, indicating periods of overbought and oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility. Considering these factors, I propose a combined strategy leveraging RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels. Our entry point will be $0.0000134 on May 19, 2025, when the RSI is approaching 68.7, suggesting a potential rebound. The stop loss will be set at $0.0000127 to protect against a potential downturn, below the recent low. The initial target price will be $0.0000144, aligning with the resistance level. To refine this strategy, we'll utilize the Bollinger Bands. If the price touches the lower band, which is currently around $0.0000059, it signals an oversold condition, potentially offering another entry point. Conversely, if the price approaches the upper band, currently around $0.0000161, it suggests an overbought condition, prompting a partial profit booking. The second target price will be $0.0000144, and the final stop loss will be $0.0000122. This combined approach aims to capitalize on both momentum and volatility, maximizing potential returns while mitigating risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogwifhat shows a generally upward trend with increased volatility. The RSI consistently moved above 50, indicating bullish momentum, and occasionally reached overbought conditions above 80, suggesting potential pullbacks. The Bollinger Bands have widened, reflecting this increased volatility. The forecast prices for the next week are stable around $1.06 to $1.08, suggesting continued upward momentum. Considering these factors, I propose a strategy focused on capitalizing on short-term pullbacks within the overall uptrend. My recommended strategy is to buy when the RSI falls below 30, which indicates an oversold condition. The entry price will be $1.04. Place a stop-loss order at the support level of $0.642 to limit potential losses. Set a target price at $1.08, aiming to capture a profit of $0.04. If the price reaches the target, consider taking partial profits and moving the stop-loss to break even to protect gains. This strategy combines RSI signals with support and resistance levels and Bollinger Bands to manage risk and maximize potential returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, Eigenlayer shows a clear upward trend with significant volatility. The RSI consistently fluctuated between 38 and 75, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands also demonstrate this volatility, with the price frequently touching both the upper and lower bands. Considering these factors, I recommend a strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Bands to capitalize on the price swings. Initially, a long position can be opened at $1.34 when the price is near the lower Bollinger Band and RSI is below 40. A stop loss should be set at $1.29, just below the support level and the lower Bollinger Band, to limit potential losses. The target price for this trade is $1.46, aligning with the forecast price and the upper Bollinger Band. To refine the strategy, we can implement a dynamic adjustment based on the RSI. If the price reaches $1.4 and the RSI exceeds 70, consider taking partial profits and setting a trailing stop loss at $1.37. This allows us to secure gains while still participating in potential further upside. Subsequently, if the price retraces to $1.34 again and the RSI falls below 40, another long position can be initiated with a stop loss at $1.29 and a target price of $1.46. This iterative approach, combining Bollinger Bands and RSI, aims to maximize returns while managing risk effectively in this volatile market.